We'll go to the next shloka, 45th shloka. Somebody can repeat. Tvam karmanam mangala mangalanam.
Tvam karmana mangala mangalanam.
Kartusvalokam tanushe swaparam va.
Kartu swalokam tanushe swaparam va.
Amangalanam cha tamisramulbanam.
Amangalanam cha tamisramulvanam.
Viparyayakena tadeva kasyachit.
Viparyayakena tadeva kasyachita. O most auspicious Lord, you have ordained the heavenly planets, the spiritual Vaikuntha planets, and the impersonal Brahman sphere as the respective destinations of the performers of auspicious activities. Similarly, for others who are miscreants, you have destined different kinds of hells which are horrible and ghastly. Yet, sometimes it is found that their destinations are just the opposite. It is very difficult to ascertain the cause of this.
So here, Brahma is saying that, Hey Mangala, in that way is addressing the Lord Shiva. Hey Mangala, that means, oh auspicious one. Tvam eva Mangalanam, Mangalana means Shubhanam, those who perform auspicious activities. Tvam eva Mangalanam Kartuhu Kaminaha Swargadi Lokam Nishkamasya Parampadam Sayujyadi Moksham Va Tanushe. Tanushe Vistarayasi Dadasi Ityartha. That means what? Brahma is saying that you only award the results of the pious activities to the people who perform pious activities. You award the results in the form of Swargaloka, or you award the results in the form of the Mukti. You only award the results. And then he says that Tata Amangalanam. Amangalana means opposite to Mangalanam, those who perform sinful activities, Papa Karmana. Amangalanam Kartushcha Ulbanam Goram Tamisram Narakam Tanushe. And you only award the results of sinful activities in the form of the hell to the people who perform those sins. And then Brahma is asking, Kenachit Prabalena Nimittena, Kenachit Prabalena, Kenachit Nimittena, Tasminneva Karmani Kasyachit Phala Viparyayopi Bhavati. Yata Dakshasya Punya Karturapi Tamisram Ajamilasya Papa Karturapi Apavarga. Is asking that you only award the results of the pious activities and sinful activities, but now why you are offering this result to Daksha, who is actually a pious person? Why are you offering opposite result now? So Brahmaji is actually nonsense, pleading on behalf of Daksha. What, now, you only award the results of pious activities and sinful activities, but now Viparyayaha Kena Tadeva Kasyachit. The last line is important. But now, why do you give opposite results? You are supposed to give Swargaloka, in the Swargaloka type of results to people who perform sacrifice. And Daksha is a pious person. But you have punished Daksha. Pious persons like Daksha, they cannot get such a reaction. So why have you punished Daksha? Why should there be opposite results for some people? So Brahmaji is basically telling, Brahmaji understands definitely Daksha committed a mistake. Daksha committed Vaishnava Aparadh Lord Shiva, that Brahmaji definitely understands that, and that is why Brahma told the Devatas in the beginning of this chapter. We already studied. Brahma told that having committed a personality like Lord Shiva, what else do you deserve? What else does Daksha deserve? Brahma definitely chastised them. But now Brahma, for the sake of the universe, he wants to revive the sacrifice. For that, Daksha has to be revived. Therefore, he is trying to bring down the anger of Lord Shiva and reduce the punishment of Daksha by asking him to revive Daksha. We will see that in few verses later. But now in this particular shloka, he is saying that you only award the results of pious activities and sinful activities. So why do you give opposite results now? I am asking you about this. So sometimes we see there are Bhagavatam, similar such episodes come. Sometimes great personalities, great Vaishnavas, sometimes they also become little, certain circumstances, they become little excessively angry. Dhruva Maharaj showed excessive anger. It was right on the part of Dhruva to give punishment to that Yaksha who killed his brother. But then he ended up killing thousands of Yakshas, although only one Yaksha committed the murder of his brother. So Dhruva got carried away by the anger. Swayambhu Manu at that time came and brought down the anger of Dhruva. So here, definitely here, Daksha Prajapati, because of Daksha Prajapati's offense, Lord Shiva, Sati committed suicide. Sati ended her life. It is definitely proper to give punishment to Daksha. There is no doubt about it. But the punishment became little excessive. Daksha has been completely killed. That was an excessive punishment. Therefore, Brahma is coming here and appealing on behalf of the Devatas and is appealing to the Lord Shiva that to pacify his anger, to reduce the punishment of Daksha. That's why he's saying that you only give the results, but why do you have given opposite result? Daksha is pious. He does not deserve to be punished in this way by completely getting killed. So Prabhupada's purport is very profound, this shloka. So Prabhupada says that the supreme personality of Godhead is called the supreme will. Means like the Supreme Lord is completely independent. Janmadhyasya yatonvayat itaratas chartesh abhijñas swarat. Krishna is completely independent. His supreme will cannot be questioned. Rupa Goswami gives an example in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu for Krishna's quality of being independent. He quotes a shloka where he says that Krishna gave the dust of his lotus feet to Kaliya, who committed a very great offense. He poisoned that lake, and then because of that, so many cows got killed. Still, Krishna punished Kaliya, but then Krishna gave the dust of his lotus feet to Kaliya. On the other hand, Brahma offered 40 profound prayers in the Brahma Vimohan Leela. such profound prayers. Vishwanath Chakravartipad says that, may these prayers become the foundation of my consciousness. I'll read that Vishwanath Chakravartipad's comment. Vishwanath Chakravartipad says that Sarva Samshaya Krit, Sarva Bhakti Siddhanta Santati Astu Brahma Stutis Chitta Bittau Me Charu Chitrita. May these prayers of Lord Brahma, which remove Sarva Samshaya Krit, which remove all the doubts, Sarva Bhakti Siddhanta Santati, which teach all the definitive conclusions of devotion, may these prayers always remain forever impressed in my heart. May these prayers create such deep impressions in my heart. Chitta bhittau me charu chitrita. Brahma, this is the glorification with Vishwanath Chakravartipad speaks about the prayers of Brahma. But even though Brahma offered such 40 profound prayers, Krishna did not even look at Brahma. But Krishna placed the dust of his lotus feet on Kaliya. And Rupa Goswami says that Krishna prasadam akarod aparadyatepi padankameva kila Kaliya pannagaya na brahmane drishamapi stuvate pyapurvam sthane swatantra charito nigamair nutoyam. Although Kaliya offended Krishna, Krishna gave him mercy by placing his foot mark on his head. Although Brahma praised Krishna, Krishna did not even glance at him. Such unprecedented mercy is suitable to the Lord because the Vedas praise him as Swarat, independent. So Krishna does not have to he doesn't need to be afraid of somebody. Oh, if I don't do this, maybe my position will be taken away or people will not respect me. He is truly completely independent. 40 prayers were offered by Brahma. Brahma praised him, but he did not even glance at him. Kaliya offended him, but Krishna placed his lotus feet upon him. So in this world, people who are in big positions, they are not independent. One discussion we are having. Yogi Adityanath, he is really bold, and in UP, so many criminals were eliminated through encounter because our system of judicial system is so corrupt that there are so many loopholes for criminals to escape. He eliminated so many criminals through encounter. But then as a chief minister, he will have to go and bow down to Gandhi, who is a symbol of Ahimsa, on Gandhi's birthday or disappearance day. Because of the chief minister, he is not independent. As this one, he has to do that. But Krishna is completely independent. So that is why this purport begins with the Supreme Personality of Godhead is called the Supreme Will. By that Supreme Will, everything is happening. Not a blade of grass moves without the Supreme Will. So generally, pious people should go to higher planets. Devotees get promoted to Vaikunthas. Impersonal speculators are promoted to impersonal Brahman effulgence. But sometimes it so happens that a sinful person like Ajamil gets promoted to Vaikuntha simply by chanting the holy name. And Daksha, although he was engaged in very pious activities, but because of creating a little misunderstanding with Lord Shiva, he was severely taken to task. He was killed by the followers of Lord Shiva. So Brahma is questioning that. Of course, Ajamil, yeah, he committed so many sins, but by helplessly taking shelter of the holy name, all his sins were eradicated. Daksha Prajapati was very pious, but by committing the Vaishnava aparad, he made a very big blunder. There's a mistake. But Prabhupada, what he is saying is that sometimes it may appear in this world, pious people get opposite results. But the supreme will is the ultimate judgment. Supreme will is the ultimate judgment. Many times people ask, why do such a bad things happen to a good person like me? I have not committed any sins in my life. I have performed so many pious activities. Why has such a difficult situation happening in my life? So the conclusion is that the supreme will is the ultimate judgment. No one can argue upon this. Bhagavatam also says there is a beautiful shloka spoken by Bhishma Dev in this connection. That shloka. Bhishma Dev says that Nahyasya Karihichit Rajan Puman Veda Viditsitam Yat Vijignyasaya Yukta Mukhyanti Kavayopihi. No one can know the plan of Krishna, even though great philosophers inquire exhaustively, they are bewildered. Therefore, Tasmadidam Daivatantram Vyavasya Bharatarshabha Tasyanu Vihito Natha Pahi Praja Prabho. Therefore, we should simply submit to the plan of the Lord. Accept the inconceivable plan of the Lord and you must simply follow it. Bhishma Dev said that. So Prabhupada says that pure devotee simply submits in all circumstances to the supreme will of the Lord, accepting it as all auspicious. So Tattenu Kampam Susamikshramano Gunjana Yevatma Kritam Vipakam Tridvag Vapurbir Vidadan Namaste Jivetayo Muktipadesa Dayava. This section of the purport is also very profound. The purport of this verse is that when a devotee is in a calamitous condition, he takes it as a benediction of the Supreme Lord. And he takes responsibility for his past misdeeds. So this shloka, Tatenu Kampam, Prabhupada says that this shloka should be the guiding principle for all the devotees. Should be the guiding principle for all the devotees. A devotee takes responsibility for all his misdeeds and he takes the calamity as a benediction of the Supreme Lord. Narada Muni said that Tada Tadaham Ishasya Bhaktanam Sham Abhipsata Anugraham Manyamana Pratishtam Dishamuttaran. That Supreme Lord who is always concerned with the welfare of the devotees, he has given the situation out of his mercy. Thinking like that child Narada who was 5 years old, when his only shelter in his life, when his mother died, he took the situation as a mercy of the Lord and went towards the northern direction. And then Prabhupada says that in such a condition, a devotee offers still more devotional service and is not disturbed. That means in a calamitous condition, a devotee's devotional service increases. His sadhana increases. That is a sign of a sincere devotee. Under calamitous condition, his devotional service increases. Hrid Vag Vapurbir Vidadan Namaste. He continues to offer his body, mind, and words to Krishna. One who lives in such a disposition of mind is the most eligible candidate for promotion to Vaikuntha. Such a devotee is assured in all circumstances to go to Vaikuntha. So this sentence is very profound. In such a condition, a devotee offers still more devotional service and is not disturbed. So it's easy to speak about it, but this is a very profound lesson. He offers still more devotional service and is not disturbed. And also the one of the previous sentence. The supreme will is the ultimate judgment and no one can argue upon this. Narada Muni did not argue upon why did Krishna give the death of my mother. Chitraketu Maharaj did not argue why have been cursed to become a man-eating Rakshasa for no mistake of mine. So Bhagavatam gives so many examples of profound spiritual consciousness. Parikshit Maharaj said that Tasyaiva me gasya paravaresho vyasakta chittasya griheshvabhikshnam nirveda mulo dvijashaparupo yatra prasakto bayamashu datte tammopayatum pratiyantu vipra gange cha devi dhritachittameshe dvijopasrishta kuhakas va dashatvalam gayata vishnugat. Parikshit Maharaj said that Krishna himself has come in the form of the curse of Shringi. And I am not afraid of the Takshaka bird. May you all go on singing the glories of Krishna. Krishna has come in the form of the curse in order to make me detached. So Parikshit Maharaj did not argue upon that curse, although he had the capacity to counter curse Shringi. What is that shloka? Tiraskrita vipralipta kshapta kshipta katavapi nasyachat pratikurvanti tadbhakta prabhavopi. Although he had the power to counter curse, he did not do so. So such a devotee is eligible to go back to Vaikuntha. And one example we see, the case of the Pandavas, Narada Muni speaks a shloka, which is quoted in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Narada Muni tells about the Pandavas. Narada says that Bhavati Udayatishware Suhrudi Hanta Rajyachyutir Mukunda Vasatir Vane Paragrihecha Dasya Kriya Iyam Sputam Amangala Bhavatu Pandavanam Gatihi Parantu Vavrude Twayi Dvigunam Eva Sakhyamritam. O Mukunda, although you, the Supreme Lord, have appeared as the friend of the Pandavas, still they met with so many calamities, such as losing the kingdom, living in the forest, and acting as a servant in somebody else's house. Despite going through all these calamities, and despite you appearing as the friend of the Pandavas, but their sweet friendship for you doubled in spite of this. In spite of going through these difficulties, their friendship, their affection towards you, the friendly affection towards you, it doubled. That is what Prabhupada is mentioning here in the purport, that in such a condition, a devotee offers still more devotional service and is not disturbed. So one example of a person who got disturbed during calamity is Karna. Karna is portrayed as a hero by many modern thinkers. But Karna, when his chariot wheel was stuck, he started blaming Dharma. I heard that Dharmo Rakshati Rakshata. But in my whole life, I practiced dharma, but that dharma is of no use. That dharma is not helping me at the time of this greatest need. So therefore, there is no use performing dharma. In that way, he started blaming dharma itself. At that time, Krishna, if you read the verse, word spoken by Krishna to Karna, Krishna exposed Karna. You are speaking about dharma. Where did your dharma go in that assembly of in the Asat Sabha? When you joined the Kauravas in cheating the Pandavas in the gambling match. Where did your dharma go when you encouraged Dushasan to disrobe Draupadi? Where did your dharma go when you joined the other Kauravas in killing Abhimanyu by not following the codes of conduct of the war? Like that, Krishna asks several questions. So people like Karna, during difficulties, they start blaming dharma itself. They start blaming bhakti itself. On the other hand, when Arjuna, before shooting arrow at Karna, the words spoken by Arjuna are that if I had followed dharma properly in my life, if I had respected my teachers properly, if I had followed tapasya, then let this arrow kill Karna. In that way, he praying like that, in a very humble state of mind, he prayed like that, and then he released the arrow. Whereas Karna boasted himself as if he always followed dharma, and then he started blaming dharma itself. So next shloka. Navai satam tvat charanarpitatmanam.
Nave satam tvaj charanaarpitatmanam
Bhuteshu sarvesh abhipashyatam tava.
bhuteshu sarvesha vipashyatam tava
Bhutani chatman aprutakti drikshatam.
bhutani chatman aprataktikshatam
Prayena rosho bibhavedyata pashum.
praye narosho vibhavedyatha pasum. Translation. My dear Lord, devotees who have fully dedicated their lives unto your lotus feet certainly observe your presence as Paramatma in each and every being, and as such they do not differentiate between one living being and another. Such persons treat all living entities equally. They never become overwhelmed by anger like animals who can see nothing without differentiation.
So here we will see in this shloka, the next three shlokas, 46, 47, 48, this word prutak, aprutak didrikshatam, this word comes here in this shloka. Aprutak didrikshatam. Next shloka also prutak diyaha, that word comes. Next shloka also prutak drishaha, that word comes. That means having a differentiated vision. Having a vision, differentiating a person based on the external body. So this shloka, Navai Satam Tvat Charanarpitatmana. Bhuteshu Sarvesh Abhipashyatam Tava. Bhutani Chatman Aprutak Didrikshatam. Prayena Rosho Bibhaved Yata Pashum. Prayena Rosho Abhibhaved Yata Pashum. It cannot be from anger. Because anger, as it arises in animals, such anger does not generally occur in those people who have surrendered to your lotus feet. Navai satam tvacharanarpitatmanam. Tvacharanarpitatmanam. Those people who have surrendered unto your lotus feet, they don't become angry. Bhuteshu sarveshu abhipashyatam tava. Those people who see you in all living beings are bhutani cha atmani apritak didrikshatam, are those who even just desire to see all living beings as non-different from you. These people, they never become angry. So Brahma's point is that those people who have surrendered to your lotus feet, they don't become angry. Those people who see you in all living beings, they don't become angry. Then how can you become angry? If people who are surrendered to your lotus feet, apratat didrikshatam, who don't have a differentiated vision, who don't have a materialistic vision, such people, they don't become angry. They don't come under the control of anger. Then how can you become angry? So the devotees desire to see you. If those who desire to see in that way, if those who are surrendered to your lotus feet, if they do not become angry, then what to speak of those who actually see in that way? Those who are your devotees, they do not become angry. If anger does not arise even in the devotees who are surrendered unto you, who see everyone with equal vision, then how could anger arise in you? How could anger arise in you? So Brahmaji is not finding fault with Lord Shiva. He will also say that Lord Shiva's anger upon Daksha is the mercy of Lord Shiva upon Daksha. But still, Brahmaji wants to pacify Lord Shiva. What Brahmaji is saying is that people who have surrendered to your lotus feet, even they don't become angry. But then how do we understand your anger because of that you have killed Daksha? Your anger is nothing but the mercy you have given to Daksha, you have shown to Daksha. It is not because of anger, but by your mercy you have given punishment to Daksha. So Brahma is also acknowledging appreciating Lord Shiva that I understand your anger, the anger you exhibited by which you killed Daksha is actually your mercy. Because people who are surrendered to your lotus feet, even they don't come under the influence of the anger, then how can you come under the influence of the anger? Then how do we understand this anger which you exhibited towards Daksha? The only understanding is that this anger is nothing but your compassion or mercy towards Daksha. Next shloka. So Prabhupada says that when the Supreme Lord becomes angry or kills a demon, materially this may appear unfavorable. But spiritually it is a blissful blessing upon him. Therefore, the pure devotees do not make any distinction between the Lord's anger and his blessings. They see both with reference to the Lord's behavior with others and themselves. Pritagdiya karma drisho durashaya.
Pruthagdiya karma drisho durashaya.
Parodayena hridrujonisham.
Parodayena
Paranduruktair vitudantyaruntudas.
Paranduruktair Vitudantyaruntudas
Tanmavadhit Daivavadhan Bhavadvidah.
Tanma Vadhi Daivavadhan Bhavadvidah. Translation: Persons who observe everything with differentiation who are simply attached to fruitive activities, who are mean-minded, who are always pained to see the flourishing condition of others, and who thus give distress to them by uttering harsh and piercing words, have already been killed by providence. Thus, there is no need for them to be killed again by an exalted personality like you.
So Brahma is saying that Prutak Diya. Prutak Diya means those who see, those who have a differentiated vision. For example, Bhagavad Gita 18th chapter, and Krishna speaks about the knowledge in three gunas. What is the shloka? Sarva bhuteshu yenaikam bhavam avyayam ikshate avibhaktam vibhakteshu tagyanam vidhi satvikam. In Sattva guna people, the knowledge by which a person sees the same spirit soul situated in all the material bodies, that is knowledge in Sattva guna. And pratatvena tu yajnanam nana bhavan pratak vidan vetti sarveshu bhuteshu tagyanam vidhi rajasam. That knowledge by which a person sees, by which a person differentiates based on the external body, that knowledge is in the mode of passion. We can see that this is very prominent. This mode of passion, this knowledge by which people differentiate based on the external body, this is taken great advantage by the politicians to divide the Hindus based on the caste. There is a strong identification based on the caste. People I mentioned a few weeks back also. One family, very pious family, they have Radha Krishna deities, where they do kirtan. But when it comes to voting, their understanding is that because we are Yadav, Akhilesh Yadav is a Yadav, therefore we have to vote for him. Although in one sense they perform, they're pious and cultured, joint family worship Krishna, but still the bodily conception is there. We are Yadav, he is Yadav, so therefore vote for him. They're not thinking deeply whom is he associating with, who are the other people concerned about the welfare of the nation. They don't think. So differentiated vision based on the body. This person is from my caste, this one, only based on the external body. That is a mode of passion. That is a pratak diya. The same word pratak diya is mentioned here. So pratak diya, those who are sinful, seeing difference between you and all beings. And karma drisho durashaya. And karma drisho, those who are absorbed in performing fruitive activities. Those who only see in terms of the material benefit for themselves. That means those who are fruitively oriented. And parodayena arpita hridrujo nisham. And those who are para dukkha sukhi. When they see others' property, others' prosperity, they become unhappy. And para sukha dukhi. When they see others' distress, they become happy. Such people, parodayen arpita hridrujo nisham. Such people, hridrujo, they always speak harsh words. Hridrujo nisham. They afflict others with harsh words which injures others' hearts. Paran duruktair vitudanti aruntudas. They afflict others with harsh words and injure other beings. So such people, you don't have to separately kill them. Tan ma avadit. You do not have to kill them. Tan ma avadit. Daiva vadan bhavat vidah. They have already been killed with the law of karma. So Brahma is talking about Daksha because Daksha, he saw in terms of the bodily this one. I am the son-in-law of the Lord Shiva. I am the father-in-law. He is my son-in-law. He has to respect me. And he saw Lord Shiva only based on the external body. He is unclean. He doesn't have good habits. And Daksha is absorbed in the fruitive activities. And Daksha was angry to see the great respect which Lord Shiva was getting from others. And Lord Daksha spoke harsh words towards Lord Shiva. So Brahma is speaking about Daksha, and then he's telling Lord Shiva that you don't have to kill them. Tan ma avadit. Daiva vadan bhavat vida. They have already been killed by the law of karma. So, because why Vishwanath Chakravarti says that you don't have to kill persons like Daksha, because if they become the object of your anger, they will never have the chance to become saved in the future. So you don't have to show anger towards them. They have already been killed with the law of karma. So there is a similar shloka which comes in, again, the same fourth canto, but in Prithu Maharaj section. When in Prithu Maharaj when the Brahmanas were about to chant mantras in order to kill Indra, the sacrifice. So at that time, Brahma comes and pacifies Prithu Maharaj to stop performing the 100th sacrifice. And Brahma says that, dear king, or sorry, this verse is spoken by the Brahmanas to the Ritviks to the Prithu Maharaj. Ritviks are telling the Prithu Maharaj, because Indra was coming and taking the horse, stealing the horse again and again. So Prithu Maharaj became angry, and Prithu Maharaj finally wanted to kill Indra. So at that time, the Ritviks are telling to Prithu Maharaj, oh, Indra's powers are already reduced because of his attempt to impede the execution of your sacrifice. We shall call him by Vedic mantras, which were never before used, and certainly he will come. Thus, by the power of our mantra, we shall cast him into the fire because he is your enemy. Here they are saying that Indra's powers are already reduced because of his attempt to impede the execution of your sacrifice. You don't have to go and kill Indra. We will do the needful. Something similar, Brahma is saying that the Daksha is definitely, he has a differentiated outlook, he has a bodily conception, he spoke harsh words towards you, but you don't have to kill him. He will be already punished by the law of karma. They have already been killed by the law of karma. Like that, Brahma, the main purpose of Brahma speaking is that you don't have to kill Daksha. Please revive Daksha so that the sacrifice can be started. Next shloka. So in this verse, purport, 1 minute. Persons who are materialistic and always engage in fruitive activities cannot endure seeing the flourishing life of others. Because people who are engaged in fruitive activities, they naturally become envious. So except for the persons in Krishna consciousness, the world is full of such envious persons who are attached to body and are without self-realization. Because they are always filled with anxiety, they have already been killed by providence. So Lord Shiva, as a self-realized Vaishnava, was advised by Brahma not to kill Daksha. In fact, similar advice was given by Swayambhu Manu to Dhruva Maharaj also. We will see in the later 11th chapter of the 4th canto. So Vaishnava is described as Paradukha Dukhi. Vaishnava should not try to kill by any action of the body or mind, but should try to revive the Krishna consciousness of others out of compassion for them. So something similar, like what Brahma is telling to Lord Shiva, we can see in different land. We can see many similar instances. And Swayambhu Manu also told Dhruva Maharaj, you don't have to kill all these Dakshas, all these Yakshas. You are ultimately a great Vaishnava. You don't have to act like that. Swayambhu Manu also told Dhruva. And Nityananda Prabhu also told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu like the similar lines, the way Brahma is speaking to the Lord Shiva. Nityananda Prabhu told that in this incarnation you have appeared to kill the demoniac propensity. You have not appeared to kill the demons. If you have to kill the demons, then you will have to kill all the people in this world. So please do not actually kill this Madai. Please do not kill, please do not kill Madai. Like that, Nityananda was pleading on behalf of Jagai Madai to Lord Chaitanya. Similarly, here Brahma is pleading to Lord Shiva. You don't have to kill Daksha. So the Krishna consciousness movement has been started to deliver the envious persons of the world from the clutches of Maya. And even though devotees are sometimes put into trouble, they push forward the movement in all tolerance. A Vaishnava should follow the examples of Haridas Thakur, Nityananda Prabhu, and Jesus Christ. There is no need to kill anyone who has already been killed. But it should be noted herewith that a Vaishnava should not tolerate the blaspheming of Vishnu or Vaishnavas, although he should tolerate personal insults to himself. Beautiful purport. Next shloka. Yasmin yada pushkaranaba mayaya.
यस्मिन् यदा पुष्कर नाभमायया
Durantaya sprushtadhiya pruthak drishaha.
दुरन्तया स्मृतध्रिय पृथग्दृशा
Kurvanti tatra yanukampaya kripam.
कुर्वन्ति तत्र यनुकम्पया कृपाम्
न साधवो दैवबलात्कृते क्रमम्.
न साधवो देव बलात्कृते क्रमम्. Prabhuji, just enlarge this purport. Yeah, translation. Sorry, I'm not able to see, Prabhuji.
You're not
Yeah.
able to see?
My dear Lord, if in some places materialists who are already bewildered by the insurmountable illusionary energy of the Supreme Godhead sometimes commit offenses, a saintly person with compassion does not take this seriously, knowing that they commit offenses because they are overpowered by illusionary energy. He does not show his prowess to counteract them.
So Brahma is telling to Lord Shiva, Yasmin, in this verse also Pruthak Drisha comes. Yada, Yasmin Yada, whenever and wherever. Pruthak Drisha, those who see difference. And Durantaya Sprushtadhiya, whose intelligence is controlled by the Vishnu's Maya. Pushkara Naba is the word used for Vishnu here. Pushkara Naba Mayaya. Those whose intelligence is controlled by Vishnu's Maya. What kind of Maya? Durantaya, which is insurmountable. Vishnu's Maya is insurmountable. Those whose intelligence is controlled by the insurmountable Vishnu's Maya. When such people commit offenses to the devotees, and such people kurvanti kramam. No, 1 minute. Yeah, when such people commit offenses to the devotees anukampaya kripam, they show mercy to them. And they do not attack them, krite kramam, because their karma will act upon them. They will suffer because of their karma, but the devotees should show mercy to such people. Even though others will commit offenses to the devotees show mercy to them. Just similar to what Nityananda Prabhu appealed to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, similarly, Brahma is appealing to Lord Shiva. So the devotees, being tolerant of everything, tolerate the suffering caused by others. They are merciful even to those who offend them. Adveshta sarvabhutanam maitraha karuna yevacha. The 12th chapter Gita, Krishna says that the qualities of a devotee is adveshta. They are not envious of any living entities. They are not envious of all living entities. Particularly, the most difficult person to not be envious is that the person who commits violence towards you. But the devotee is not envious even of a person who commits violence towards him. Rather, Adveshta Sarvabhutana Maitraha, he is a friend of such a person. Maitraha Karuna Yevacha, not only a friend, he shows mercy to such person. So whenever and wherever those whose intelligence is controlled by the Maya, Pushkara Nava Maya Vishnu, when they commit offense to the devotees, Kurvanti, when they commit offense, Kurvanti is the committing offense. The object is missing in the sentence, that should be supplied to the sentence. Sometimes the object of the action is not explicitly mentioned in the sentence, that should be supplied. So when they commit offense to the devotees show mercy to them, anukampaya, because the mercy is the very nature of the devotees. The devotees do not counterattack, because daiva balat, according to the law of karma, they will definitely get the result. The karma bestows suffering on them by force, but the devotee should not show, should show only compassion towards them. So we see Lord Brahma is essentially telling Daksha to forgive Daksha. It's the beauty of a tapasvi to forgive. There are many instances in the spiritual history of the world in which many saintly persons, although unnecessarily harassed, did not take action, although they could have done so. The Maharaj Parikshit is an example. Because, and the Maharaj Parikshit example is quoted, because it was desired by Krishna that Maharaj Parikshit agree to the punishment so that the Bhagavatam would thus be revealed to the world. Parikshit was advised not to take action. A Vaishnava is personally tolerant for the benefit of others. When he does not show his prowess, this does not mean that he is lacking in strength. Rather, it indicates that he is tolerant for the welfare of the entire human society. It's not because that he doesn't have strength. Sometimes people may say that, oh, because he doesn't have strength, therefore he is tolerating. No, Parikshit Maharaj had the strength. Chitraketu Maharaj had the strength to counter curse. But still they restrained themselves for the welfare of the entire human society. Parikshit Maharaj personally accepted that curse to die within 7 days for the welfare of the entire world. In what way? So that the birth of the Srimad Bhagavatam can happen in this world. In order that the Srimad Bhagavatam to appear in this world, Parikshit Maharaj voluntarily accepted that curse. Not because that he didn't have the strength to counter curse. So we see that tolerance is a beauty of a tapasvi. One of the definition, I will just take 10 minutes because I want to complete this chapter. It's explained that the definition of love is the capacity to forgive endlessly. So, Tiraskrita Vipralabda Shapta Kshipta Hatavapi Nasyatat Pratikurvanti Tatbhakta Prabhavapihi. Parishit Maharaj, the devotees of the Lord are so forbearing that even though they are defamed, cheated, cursed, disturbed, neglected, or even killed, they are never inclined to avenge themselves. So even if a devotee gives punishment to a person, that punishment will be given in the mood of compassion, not in the mood of taking revenge towards the person. It will be in the mood of rectifying, the mood of compassion in order to help that person, the punishment will be given. Like Arjuna giving punishment to the Kauravas in the Kurukshetra battle. So forgiveness is the quality of one who is progressing in devotional service. So one class Radhanath Swami Maharaj mentioned that the power of God to forgive is the greatest benediction of all the entire creation. In the spiritual world, there is nothing to forgive because nobody commits offenses. But this material world is all about forgiveness. In the material world, the conditioned souls are repeatedly committing mistakes, but Krishna is forgiving. Or Krishna is punishing them in the mood of compassion. Haridas Thakur was beaten in 22 marketplaces by people who hated him. Those people, they hated Haridas Thakur, despised him. But still, they wanted Haridas Thakur to die from the core of their hearts. But Haridas Thakur, within his heart, he was praying to Krishna to give them entrance to Vaikuntha. And he was praying to Krishna to forgive them. So that forgiveness of Haridas Thakur made Haridas Thakur so dear to Lord Chaitanya that Lord Chaitanya called him as the Namacharya. Shukdev Goswami addressed Parishit Maharaj as Arindama, the conqueror of the enemies, especially the conqueror of the internal enemy in the form of the revenge feeling towards Shringi. So therefore, one of the requirement for getting absorbed in Krishna Katha or Krishna's holy name is that to let go of our grudges towards others. When we let go of the grudges towards others, when we develop the quality of forgiveness, then we will be able to absorb our mind in Krishna's holy name and Krishna Katha. And that was demonstrated personally by Parishit Maharaj. Because he didn't have grudges towards Shringi, he could absorb himself in Krishna Katha. Otherwise, if those grudges are there, even when we are chanting the holy names, even we are hearing Krishna Katha, the back of our mind, the revenge fantasies will be going on. The dialogues of revenge fantasies will be going on in the back of our mind. So therefore, I'll go through the last shlokas just rapidly. Then Brahma says that Bhavamstu Pumsa Paramasya Mayaya Durantaya Sprishtamati Samastadrika Taya Hatatmas Anukarma Chetas Anugraham Kartumiharhasi Prabhu. Since your intelligence is not influenced by Lord's Maya, Bhavamstu Pumsa Paramasya Maya, since you are not touched by Maya, and you should be merciful to those whose minds have been conquered by Maya. And since you see everything, Durantasya Asprishta Mati Samastadrika, since you see everything, and since your intelligence is not influenced by Lord's Maya, so therefore Anugraham Kartum Ihargasa, you should show mercy to those people who have been conquered by Maya and are afflicted by various karmas. Therefore, please you should not become angry. You are not under the control of Maya. Thus, you see everything, you see the great suffering they will endure as a result of their offenses. So, Daksha's intelligence has been defeated by Maya. Therefore, you don't have to, you show mercy to them. How can Daksha gain discrimination? How can those people whose minds afflicted by various karmas, how can they recognize the devotees? Only when you show mercy to Daksha. So please show mercy to Daksha. We will see that when Lord Shiva shows mercy to Daksha, when Lord Shiva revives Daksha, Daksha will offer such feeling prayers with forgiveness. He will beg forgiveness to Lord Shiva. That we'll see in the next chapter. Now in the last 4 shlokas, so till the 49th shloka, Brahmaji was telling to Lord Shiva, is giving the general principle. Basically, he's telling that please be merciful to Daksha. Please, maybe you are given excessive punishment. Please be merciful. Show compassion. A general principle he has given. Now, in the last 4 shlokas, he is giving very specific things. He is requesting very specific things from Lord Shiva, what he should do. That is the last 4 shlokas. So Prabhupada also says that if a Vaishnava like you does not become merciful towards a person like Daksha, then there is no way that they can come out of the clutches of Maya. There is no way they can come out of the clutches of Maya. So then last 4 shlokas, Brahma is saying that Kuru Advarasya Uddaranam Hatasya Boho. Revive the incomplete sacrifice of Daksha. Tvaya Samaptasya Mano Prajapate. Nayatra Bhagam Tava Bhagino Daduhu. Kuyajino Yena Mako Niniyate. Revive this incomplete sacrifice of Daksha, which is stopped by you. Asamaptasya Mano. In which the Kuyajina means the bad priest. In which the bad priest did not offer your portion of the share in the sacrifice. But please revive this, although the priest did not offer you the portion which is meant to be offered to you, but please revive this incomplete sacrifice of Daksha, which is stopped by you. This is the first request he is saying, revive the sacrifice. And the second request is saying that Jivatad Yajamanoyam. Yajamanoyam Jivatat. Yajamana, what Yajamana refers to whom? Daksha. Let Daksha be revived. Jivatat, let him get his life back. And Prapadyeta Akshini Bhagaha. Bhaga's eyes were taken away by the Lord Shiva's followers. Let Bhaga get eyes. Bhrugoho Smashuni Rohantu. Bhrugumoni's mustache should grow again. Pushno Dantascha Purvavat. Pusha's teeth should be restored. Because his teeth was removed. In the 5th chapter, we already saw that his teeth was removed. Bhrugu's mustache was taken away. And then Devanam Bhagnaghatranam Ritwijam Chayudasmabihi. May the Devatas whose limbs were injured by the weapons of your followers, may they quickly recover their health. Bhavata Anugrahitanam Ashumanyo Sanaturam. May they recover their health, being favored by you. Yeshate Rudrabhagostu Yad Uchishto Dvarasyavai Yajnaste Rudrabhagena Kalpatam Adya Yajnahan. O Rudra, O destroyer of the sacrifice, and may you take your share. And may you also accept the share which is meant for you, which is the best remainder in the sacrifice, by which the sacrifice may be completed. In this way, the last 4 shlokas, Brahma is asking very specific request. Revive the sacrifice, revive Daksha, Bhaga should get his eyes back, Pusha should get his teeth back, Bhrugumuni's mustache should grow, and may you also take your share of sacrifice. In this way, this chapter ends. So maybe I'll just read this last purport. A sacrifice is performed to please the Supreme Lord. So the aim of our activities should be to satisfy the Supreme Lord. So just as in an office, it is a duty of the worker to see that the proprietor is satisfied. So yajnartat karmano nyatra lokoyam karmagandana. The sacrifice is meant to please Vishnu. Otherwise, if activities are not performed as a pleasing to Vishnu, then those work will simply bind a person. Work which is performed for one's own sense gratification will only cause bondage. So after the yajna was performed by Daksha, all the devatas expected the Vishnu Prasada. So Vishnu is the main person who is pleased in the sacrifice. And the Vishnu Prasad is given to all the devatas. And Shiva is also one of the devata. So Shiva also expected the Vishnu Prasad in the sacrifice. But Daksha, because of his envy towards Shiva, he did not give him the Vishnu Prasad to Lord Shiva. Just imagine, suppose you are sitting in the Prasadam line. Everyone, they are serving Prasadam, but the servers are not coming to you. Although everyone is served Prasadam, in your plate, nothing is being served. How will you feel actually? Such kind of discrimination in Prasadam serving, one person Prasadam starts being served, other person that is being served, it's a mistake actually. So Lord Shiva was expecting Prasadam, he did not get the Vishnu Prasad. So then, but after the destruction of the Yajna, Lord Brahma pacified him and assured him that he would get his share of the Prasad. Therefore, he was requested to rectify whatever destruction was caused by his followers. So Bhagavad Gita, it is said that the demigods are satisfied when one performs yajna, because all the devatas expect prasada from the yajna must be performed. Those who engage in sense gratificatory activities must perform yajna. Daksha was performing yajna and Lord Shiva expected a share. Since Shiva was not invited, there was trouble. So by the mediation of Lord Brahma, however, everything was settled satisfactorily. So therefore, even when you are worshipping Vishnu, but if you don't respect the Devata, you will be committing an offense. Daksha was performing a sacrifice, he was worshipping Vishnu, but he did not respect Lord Shiva, who is a great Vaishnava. Therefore, he is committing a mistake. And finally, Prabhupada says that Yajna meant for the Kali Yuga is the Sankirtan Yajna. Because it's not possible to perform such huge fire sacrifices in the Kali Yuga. So those who are intelligent should perform the Sankirtan Yajna in this age. So unless one pleases the demigods, there will be no regulated seasonal activities or rainfall. Everything is controlled by the Devata. But under the circumstances in this age, in order to keep the balance of social peace and prosperity, the intelligent people should take to Sankirtan Yajna. And this will satisfy all the Devatas, and thus there will be peace and prosperity in the world. Another difficulty in the Vedic rituals is that if one fails to satisfy even one Devata out of the many hundreds of thousands of Devatas, just as Daksha failed to satisfy Lord Shiva, there will be disaster. In the Vedic fruitive sacrifices, if a person fails to satisfy even one Devata, there will be mistake. But in this age, the performance of sacrifice has been simplified. The Sankirtan Yajna, one can please Krishna and also satisfy all the Devatas automatically. That is how the Prabhupada ends this chapter. Sorry for going much beyond time. I wanted to complete this chapter. This chapter was going on since few weeks. So now the next chapter is the last chapter in the Daksha Yajna. Next chapter is a little long, but we will see after the Brahma's request how Lord Shiva will act. We'll see that in the next chapter. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Prabhuji, regarding that the shloka where it was said that Daksha has already been killed by the providence. So, in the dictionary meaning, the providence means the protective care of the God. So, there also means the forgiveness quality of the God is there. So,
Yeah,
we
law
can.
of karma, when a person gets suffering, that is why that is also the forgiveness only, compassion only. The punishment is also given in the mood of compassion.
Yes, yes.
That
That's
is
what
why the whole material world is all about compassion, all about forgiveness.
Then I
So
understand.
forgiveness or compassion is exhibited either through punishment or through not giving punishment, but both are acts of compassion.
And Prabhu, I also remember that how Kuresh and his spiritual master Mahapurna, I think, their eyes were plugged. Then also they were in the compassion mood. Means, and also to Dhruva, how the mother Suniti says that you should never try to take revenge, even if the person has harmed you. So this thing I remember. Yes, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. Anybody else wants to share anything?
Prabhuji, but Sriram here. Here in the beginning, when Brahma is praising Lord Shiva, he is saying that you are for the pious people, you are giving mukti and all those attributes of Vishnu, which are attributes of Vishnu, he is ascribing to Lord Shiva. So how is that explained? I mean, how do you?
Last week we mentioned when Brahmaji began speaking, I think 41st or 42nd shloka. The first two shlokas, Brahma glorified Lord Shiva. So in that purport, Vishwanath Chakravarti says that Brahmaji is speaking the shlokas taking the mood of a Shaivayite, like that he mentions. So, yeah, Harim Vina Mrityum Na Taranti. Only Hari can give mukti. Only Vishnu gives mukti. No other Devata can give mukti. But here Brahmaji is speaking in the mood of a Shaivite because sometimes there is some element of excessive praise also. There is an element of excessive praise. So there are other places in the Bhagavatam also. For example, in the 8th canto, when the poison came out during the Samudra Manthan, then Vishnu told all the Devatas to approach Lord Shiva. So at that time, the Devatas go to Lord Shiva. First, they praise Lord Shiva in many verses. And then finally, they tell Lord Shiva to accept the poison. In one of the verses, when they praise Lord Shiva, they say that your effulgence cannot be understood even by Vishnu. Like that they mentioned. So that verse should be taken in the form of the sometimes when a person when you want somebody to perform a very difficult task, you will cheer up that person. When you cheer up that person, you may speak little excessively. Just like cricket people, there's a cricket matches going on. There are the cricket fans. They cheer up. The Sachin is our god, like that. Sometimes they will put some placard or something like that. They cheer up. So sometimes, so those verses. That's why some verses should not be taken literally. You have to see the context in which it is spoken. So Brahmaji is speaking in the mode of a Shaivite. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, there are other points also in that only, like where they are telling, praising Lord Shiva as if he is Lord Vishnu. That he is the supreme will and something. There are
So that
some other.
Prabhupada is writing the purport.
Hmm.
He is telling that ultimately Prabhupada is giving a lesson. He's not telling Lord Shiva is the supreme person, but he's saying the supreme personality of God is the supreme will.
That point is there, but there is something else in that which was told to Lord Shiva as if he is Lord Vishnu. I don't remember the exact.
The beginning, first two shlokas it is there. As if Lord Shiva is.
No, in today's verse only. In today's verse only, beginning in the starting first verse which you took, in that the purport of that also it is given, like he was given, Lord Shiva ascribed the qualities of Lord Vishnu, like which are actually Lord Vishnu's qualities, that is ascribed.
So we have to see the context. So that is why I mentioned last week also. In this section, Brahma is glorifying Lord Shiva. It may appear as if he is supreme. But when we see the next chapter, when Lord Vishnu appears, how everyone, including Lord Shiva, how they offer prayers to Vishnu. That we will see in the next chapter. In this chapter, by reading some verses, it might appear Lord Shiva is the ultimate supreme. May appear like that. Then you have to see the context, how the Lord Brahma is trying to pacify Lord Shiva, is a little excessively praising. And the next chapter, we will see then when Lord Vishnu appears, everyone together praises Lord Vishnu. Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
stop here. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Srimad
Prabhuji.
Bhagavatam ki Vichaya.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam.